In the first Sichos for Parsha Tetzave, the Rebbe talks about the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu's name doesn't appear in Parsha Tetzave. The only Parsha since his birth that doesn't contain Moshe's name. But on the other hand, it does contain strong, powerful references to Moshe, which in a way are even more powerful than if Moshe Rabbeinu's name would have been mentioned. So what's it all about? So we know that Moshe Rabbeinu's name is not mentioned because he asked that his name not be mentioned when there was a threat that the Jewish people would be wiped out after worshiping a golden calf. After 40 days after being told that you're not allowed to worship idols, and there was a danger that the Yidden would be, God forbid, wiped out. So Moshe told God, if the Jews are going to be wiped out, then you have to wipe me out too. Take my name out of the Torah. And even though the Jews were forgiven, but because Moshe had uttered the words, wipe me out of the Torah, Hashem wiped his name out of one of the parshas of the Torah. Rashi says, when Moshe Rabbeinu said to God, wipe me out if you don't forgive the Jews, Rashi explains that Moshe was saying to Hashem, if I'm not successful in saving the Jewish people, then erase me from the Torah, because I don't want people to say about me that he wasn't able to save his people, but he went on. No, if my people are not there, then I don't want to be there either. I don't want the reputation of having abandoned my people. So the Rebbe is asking, the Jewish people's existence is hanging in the balance, and Moshe Rabbeinu is thinking about the future of his reputation, what people are going to say about him. What's going on over here? That doesn't seem to make any sense. And so the Rebbe explains the great truth that Moshe Rabbeinu, as great as his connection was to the Torah, his connection to his fellow Jews was greater. And of course, Moshe Rabbeinu learned this from Hashem himself, where Hashem cherishes the Yidden, and that's why he gives them the Torah. And never can the things that Hashem wants from the Yidden become more important than the Yidden themselves. The Torah is full of mitzvahs, and the mitzvahs are the things that Hashem wants from the Yidden. But they can never override the Yid himself. Hashem's love for the Yidden will always be deeper, greater, and it will always be the reason why Hashem wants the mitzvah from the Yid, why Hashem gave the Torah to the Yidden. So Moshe Rabbeinu, picking up on the same cue, says to Hashem, if I cannot save my people, if I lose a connection to my people, to the Yidden, then I cannot survive, because in the future, if I survive in the future, people may learn a lesson from me. People may take a lesson from me and decide that the Torah is more important than the Yid. That the things that Hashem needs from us are more important than us, from Hashem's perspective, which Moshe Rabbeinu knew is not true. Hashem's Ahavas Yisrael, Hashem's love for the Yidden, runs as deep as can be, and nothing is deeper. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu said, you cannot allow my name to survive, me to survive, if my people don't. And the Rebbe brought a fantastic example from Rabbi Yosef Cairo, the Beis Yosef, the author of the Shulchan Aruch, who was supposed to die al Kiddush Hashem, but then did what would be considered for a man of his stature something less than optimal, and therefore he was punished by being deprived of the chance to die al Kiddush Hashem, and he actually lived a full life. And one must ask, if he would have died al Kiddush Hashem, there's so many svarim of halacha, and so much of what he accomplished in halacha would not have been accomplished. And yet, he felt bad that he lived many more years and accomplished all those achievements in Torah, because he didn't have a chance to die al Kiddush Hashem. And why would that be considered a punishment? Because what is dying al Kiddush Hashem? Dying al Kiddush Hashem means you die because you want to remain a Yid. You want to be a Yid. And someone is telling you to not be a Yid anymore, and you tell him, no, I want to be a Yid, I am a Yid, and I'm going to remain a Yid. Dying al Kiddush Hashem is the greatest statement of the importance and the vital place that Yidden have in Hashem's eyes and in each other's eyes. And he lost that opportunity to die for being a Yid. Yes, he was able to accomplish more in Torah, but there's nothing more important than a Yid. And this is the lesson, that our love for one another must always be the deepest love that we have. For that reason, we should teach each other the Torah, but the Torah should never become more important than the people that we are teaching it to.